Hello everyone and welcome back to my basement floor. This is literally the only clear space I have in my house, so this is it's gonna just work for right now. If you don't know me, my name is McKenna. I'm an incoming freshman at Stanford University and I am a 2020 Coca-Cola Scholar. The Coca-Cola Scholarship is notably the most competitive and most applied for scholarship in the United States. Over 93,000 seniors applied for the scholarship last year and only 150 won it. That means an acceptance rate of about 0.16%. Now, before I get into the scholarship, I wanted to remind any new people here to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be notified when I post my next college-related video. The first question I'm going to answer for you guys is, what is the Coca-Cola Scholarship? It is a $20,000 scholarship for college that is completely merit-based, meaning it doesn't take any demographic data into account or financial data into account. What makes this scholarship so unique is that you have 10 years to use it, meaning it doesn't have to be used for your undergrad education. It can be used for med school, it can be used for grad school, it just has to be used at an accredited university in the United States. Winning this scholarship gives you a massive network spanning decades of professional people in almost any industry, with many of those people doing exclusive work with Coca-Cola and mentoring young Coca-Cola scholars. The benefit of being a Coke Scholar is well beyond the $20,000. It is a lifelong honor and support structure that offers an almost endless stream of opportunities. So, how do you apply? Any U.S. student who is a senior in high school this year is eligible to apply. The application opens August 1st, and you can apply at coca-colascholarsfoundation.org/apply. However, before I move into the details of the Coca-Cola Scholarship, my brand sponsor for this video is Teddy Blake. They are Italian-made, fair-priced luxury handbags made from premium Italian leather. This one is the Ava Gold 11-inch in light blue. I love its size, how it clasps closed, and that it is easily changeable from a handbag to a shoulder bag. You can find it on their website, linked in the description below. They frequently have sales of up to 70% off, so be sure to check them out, especially if you're shopping for a gift anytime soon. Now, onto the video. What's the application like? Well, there are 3 different rounds to the application. After each different round, a certain number of people are eliminated, and then a certain number of people move on to the next step. In the first round, you input basic things like your GPA, your volunteer hours, the number of activities that you do, and just basic information about yourself. It's not too complicated, and there's very little to no writing in that step of the application. However, it is the step of the application that the most people get cut from. It is so hard to get past this round. It goes from about 93,000 people all the way down to 2,500 people. My tip for this round is to make sure that you are extra thorough in making sure that you write down every single extracurricular that you do, you count every single volunteer hour, and you make sure that every single part of your application is the absolute best it can be, because this is one where people don't actually look at it. It is an algorithm that goes through and automatically culls students from this application round. Even though this round is decided by an algorithm, don't lie on it. It will bite you in the butt later when you actually have to describe the things that you do on your application. For the second round, you will need a letter of recommendation along with a lot of writing. I mean, a lot of writing. This one took me the longest amount of time out of any of the rounds. You want to describe all of your activities in lengthy detail, as much detail as you can give possibly, especially highlighting any type of leadership activities or community involvement. They want to see that you are incredibly engaged in your community and you are spending your time dedicated to the activities that mean the most to you. Here is a super secret application tip that I learned from a past Coke Scholar. You can combine extracurricular activities into themed sections. So for me, I said STEM clubs, and then I put all my STEM clubs into one box because I ran out of room. So if you run out of room in one of the categories, so you have to categorize it by school activities, community activities, and I forget what the other ones are, but if you run out of space, you're limited in the number that you have. Be sure to group your activities so you don't leave anything out. Another tip is making sure that you have somebody else read your essays for that round along with your activity descriptions. They are both equally important. The essays are pretty simple. Some of them are only 50 words. I think the longest was about 250 words. So you want to make sure that you make the most impact possible in as little words as possible. At the end of that round, it goes from about 2,500 all the way down to 250. And that is the start of the final round, the interview round. You get one interview, It lasts 20 minutes, so some people might think that's a long time. For a lot of interviews, that's a short amount of time, and especially for this interview, it is a very short amount of time. You want to be as descriptive as possible about literally anything they ask you. If they ask you about your favorite activity, you want to go in lengthy detail about not only why it's your favorite activity, but how you got started in it, what you're doing it, and what you hope to do in it. You want to make sure that they know every single thing about that activity and how passionate you are about it. Because it's really that passion and internal motivation that gets kids these scholarships. Do not try to speed through the questions and answer them quickly. Go into that detail. I only got through about 3.5 questions in my 20-minute interview, and I still got the scholarship. I didn't even finish one of the questions because I went over. But they could tell that I was super passionate about all of the things that I talked about because I didn't care about how much time I took to tell them about it. The final question I'll answer for you guys is, how did I win it? It takes an incredible amount of dedication, not only to academics, but also to community involvement to win this scholarship. If you are new here, you probably don't know very much about me academically, but here's a little overview. I went to a very competitive high school in Colorado where I was one of the top 10 students and I had a perfect GPA all throughout high school. I scored a 34 on the ACT, and according to some of the organizations that received them, my letters of rec were some of the best they'd ever read. I took all honors and AP classes throughout high school. I was president and leader of 4 different clubs and was a member of over 8 at least. I also played 4 sports, ran a charitable company, did university level research that got published. Last year, I also got into every single college I applied to. I will not sell myself short that I'm a very competitive applicant for a lot of things, but I truly do credit my ability to speak about my activities and show my passion and love for them as the reason why I end up winning so many different scholarships and awards. When it comes down to it, it doesn't actually matter how perfect your statistics are if you can't actually talk in depth and with passion about the things that you do. If you only have a surface level understanding and a surface level care for the activities that you're involved in, then it will be apparent to the people on the outside who are wondering about those activities that you don't truly fully engage in them. You want to make sure that in this scholarship application, just like any, that you are super thorough and detailed about what you do. You want it to be clear that you truly are engaged in those activities and that you truly do love them. Because in the end, that is the most important thing that the Coca-Cola Scholarship worries about. There are plenty of kids who apply with 36s on the ACT and 1600s who also have 4.0 GPAs who get cut the first round of this application because they don't involve themselves in their community. This one is truly merit-based on a level of extracurriculars, not just stats. So make sure that when you're looking to apply for the scholarship, and especially if you're anywhere below your junior year and you're watching this, to make sure that you dedicate your time to all of those things you do outside of school hours. If this video was helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see another scholarship video on one of the other scholarships I've won, or you'd like to learn about how to write scholarship essays, be sure to comment below that you want to learn about scholarship essays, and I will see you next time. Thank you all for watching.